Oh, sorry, you're here already. Goodness me. I'm only up to page 101, memorising every city in the world. Well, I need to be pretty worldly for you on this one because we're going to talk about the new strategy for winning business. Last video, we talked about the triangle of trust, the T of T. Very good strategy for using video before you meet your client for the first time to position you as an expert, get them to do certain things, do some of the heavy lifting. It works beautifully well. I've just had an email back from a client recently saying it's working really, really well for them. And I'm sure it'll work well for you too. If you need some help with that, by the way, get in touch with us. Today, we're going to talk about something different. Got my clipboard ready for when you came in. We're going to talk about what to do to generate leads, how to use a little simple video strategy to generate leads. You don't want to be doing cold calling. This will do the cold calling for you, okay? It does take a wee bit of time sometimes for some of those referral systems that we delivered in the last couple of days to get to you. This will kick in much quicker. This will get the phone ringing immediately. Why aren't people ringing up massively asking for your advice? There's 3 reasons, okay? And you see if you think these are true. Number 1, they don't know you. So if they're a client, that's different. But if they're not a client, they don't know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you because they've never met you. That's fair enough. Second reason is, let's say they're a client or they have met you. Second reason is, they don't know they've got a problem. They don't know they've got a problem because they're not educated enough to know that. And until you've done a little bit of educational work, they're not in a position to know that. And the third reason is they don't know you can help them, okay? So they don't know you, they don't know they have a problem, or they don't know that you can solve the problem. Those are the only 3 reasons why the phone isn't ringing. We need a way to solve this problem. Get out your pen, because this is a write-it-downer. Whoever educates the market owns the market. Okay, whoever educates the market owns the market. Now, you know that because when you're face-to-face with people and you're taking them through things, you help them diagnose their problems and all this type of stuff, and they get motivated and they get confident in you. And who do you turn to if someone's helped educate you on a topic? You! Okay, right. How can we do that without having to have you do 1,000 meetings going through the same thing again, doing your head in? The answer is you do it once and you do it on a video like this. Whoever educates the market owns the market. And because we've got a clipboard and we will travel. So I'm going to show you physically what I'm talking about first, and then I'm going to demonstrate or talk about the strategy behind it. So here we've got some, I guess, milestones here. I can get onto this one. I can get onto this one. I really want to get onto that one. But even though I used to be a professional athlete, professional sportsman, that's too big a jump for me. I'm stuck here and it's damn frustrating because I want to get over there. And when you understand that, you'll understand the results in advanced strategy. So here's what you're going to do. On video, you're going to give them the easy steps in the whole process. You're going to give them step 1 on a video, step 2 on a video. Brilliant. Now, that's too big a jump, unfortunately, to finish the job. So what you've got is you've got a little meeting that you offer them. You give them 2 free videos, then you offer a meeting. You stick that down here, and that's like a stepping stone, woohoo, to make getting over here easy. You little beauty, problem solved. The key point is you get them moving in the right direction, you get the confidence up, and you get them to know and like you. You then offer your meeting, and that helps them achieve their goal. So, whoever educates the market owns the market. And I want to prove this to you by giving you a little story. And I want you to think about how you feel at the end of the story, because there's a little catch in it. So I want you to imagine there's a river, and it's a very dangerous river, and people struggle to get across. If they don't get across, they get swept away in the river and they die. Now, on one side of the river is man number 1, and he's in a lot of pain because there's no food on his side of the river. And he's not really sure how to get across it. There's man number 2 comes across, and we're watching all this from a distance. Man number 2 comes across on the other side of the river, and he says, "What's your problem?" And man number 1 says, "Well, I'm stuck over here. There's no food over here, and I'm going to die unless I get some food. I need to get across that river, but I'm worried by crossing the river, I'm going to drown." He says, "Who are you, man number 2? And man number 2 says, "I'm the man that helps people get across the river." Oh, what luck, man number 1 thinks. Thank goodness. So he stops crying because he thinks there's a bit of hope. He says, "Can you help me out?" He says, "No problem, I'll help you out." He said, "There's 5 stones, or 5 steps you have to make to get across this river. And they're very specific steps. I'm happy to show you through them. and help you out on this. He says, great. He says, first what I want you to do is jump on that big rock, the big grey rock in front of you. So he does that. He says, now I want you to jump on the next grey rock to your left. That's great, he does that. And now there's another one to your right, jump on that rock. Brilliant. The guy's feeling good. He's halfway across the river and he's hardly even wet. And this man's helping him out on the other side. He's saying, this is brilliant. He says, is it as easy as all the way across? And man number 2 says, well, unfortunately not. This bit's a bit tricky because the next rock you need to get onto is the big blue rock. So unfortunately, you can't jump from the grey rock to the blue rock. I'm going to have to help you. What I'm going to come and do is I'm going to come across and I'm going to build a little bridge for you. Okay, so we're going to have to get face to face and we're going to have to build this little bridge together. And from that little white bridge that we build, it's going to get you to the blue bridge, where from there, I'll show you what to do once we get there. But you're almost there. Keep up with it and you'll do well. So they go across and man number 2 comes across to him and says, you're going to have to come to me on this bridge. And they both end up making this little makeshift bridge in between, and he's on there together. And then he says, okay, we now need to get to this blue rock. He says, we've got 2 options here. He says, either you can walk across from here and there's still an amount of danger. I can coach you from this blue bridge and tell you what to do, or you can jump on my shoulders and I'll walk across because I know exactly where to put my feet and get across. It's the safest option. I will have to charge you a little bit for it because that's what I do. I'm the man that helps people get across, but no problem. And the man says, well, by this stage, he says, I like you. I trust you. My confidence is up. We're almost there. And to be frank, I don't really have too many other options. He said, well, you do have the option of walking across yourself. He says, no, can you do it for me? Can I jump on your shoulders and get across? Well, he jumps on his shoulders. They get to the other side and they're delirious. They're both happy. And the man's really pleased and really grateful for him. Now, this is an analogy a wee bit like someone having a problem in their business. And I want you to imagine that when you get up close and you look and you see the 2 men on the other side of the river, you look up close and you see that the man who was in pain was one of your clients, and the man who had helped him across the river on one element of his business that he was suffering with is one of your competitors. He's helped him on one area. And that blue rock is the advisory work that he's done for him. The bridge is really a face-to-face meeting where he's mapped out what needs to happen from here. But the blue rock is where, look, I can help you and do it for you. We're almost there. The grey rocks are like the video or the information that's helped them. The free information got him to a point where he's happy to jump on the bridge and have that face-to-face diagnostic meeting and then jumping on the blue rock. Now, how would you feel if you saw your best client and one of your competitors working together to solve a major business problem? Probably not too good. And he's paid the other guy to help him get onto that blue rock and get that final piece of that puzzle done. Now, I would bet the guy who's helped him across the river has got a good chance of picking up all his other work from this point. And probably you should think that too. So this is something you should definitely be doing with your clients, and it's also a lead generation tool for others. And bear in mind, the grey rocks, as we're doing it, really is pre-built education that steps people through a process. But it's all pre-built. Shouldn't be you doing any of that. The only bit you come into the equation is where you help them build a bridge. It's where you have a face-to-face meeting with them to show them how to get across the rest of the river. It's a diagnostic meeting. It's just a review meeting. So, how has this worked? Basically, what we go is from marketing your product or your service or your company to marketing problem-solving informations. So, we've done this in a number of different industries and it always works. Here we are, we're offering all sorts of different, these are for farmers. Now, they don't mean much to me and they may not mean much to you, but to a farmer, they understand all these things here and these are problems they're having. So, this one here, Nigel Van Dorsa, was offering to solve the farming problems. Before, he used to get 3 calls a month if he was lucky. After, they got 240 calls, and from that they stepped into a face-to-face meeting and picked up 31 new clients. Now, each of these clients is worth over $1,000 per year, so not too dissimilar to accounting clients. Same process, worked really well. Another example, he went from marketing his recruitment company to marketing information to help people locum in New Zealand. Once again, he did a speech and got 89% of the people in the room gave him his contact details to receive the education. And there was a lady outside who paid $2,000 for a stand and didn't get a single name. Okay, so he's gone from marketing his company or his product to marketing problem-solving information and helping them get results in advance. I've got lots of examples. Another company here went from 3 to 20 to 30 calls a month. It's because we're starting to market to the way people are thinking. People are thinking about their problems and the goals they want to achieve. They're not thinking about your company and your service. They don't want accounting. What they want is problems solved. So we start marketing problems. This one was for arthritis. Once again, they get more leads from this one ad than they got in the whole last year's advertising. They used to advertise the product, now they're advertising the solution and the problem. Real estate agent. She got 15 listings in 90 days as a direct result of using this. She was marketing, rather than marketing herself or her company, she was marketing information that helped people sell their house for a higher price. That led to, helping them out, giving them some advice, giving them some tips on what to do, people doing some of that stuff and feeling confident with her. And then when it came time to list their property, she was the natural person to go to. So, does that make sense? I hope it does. Now here's the process. First one, you select the area you want, the area of pain that you want to help them solve. You break up the journey into chunks. You create your content that you're going to give them for free, like the videos, for example. You invite them for a face-to-face meeting to help diagnose how to get them across that final piece of the river. And then you make an offer to do it for them. That's basically it, the 5-step process. So when you're selecting what you're going to use as the bait to try and get people coming to you, you want to find the biggest pain that the client's already experiencing. And I'll give you a quick example in a minute. Then you're looking to break it into steps. Your objective, when you break this thing down into steps, and there's a little process I run, which is in a bit more detail, but this is sort of the high level. You're looking to gain trust. You're looking to get them some early results and give them some momentum. You're looking to position yourself as an expert while you're doing this. You want them to have confidence that they can go the rest and motivation. By making progress, they feel, yes, I can get across, I've made enough progress now. I do feel I can get across the other side of the river. And it's got to be structured in a way that does lead to that face-to-face meeting to review their situation. So we've got you halfway across the river. Let's have a face-to-face meeting, and because I need to tailor a specific solution for you to get you across the rest. But I'm going to need to meet with you face-to-face so that we can look at your situation and I can tell you exactly how to get to that final blue rock, that final blue bridge. And really then it's just a case of inviting them to have that face-to-face meeting once they've got that momentum up and they've got the results going. Finally, you make the offer. You tell them what to do, not how. Bear in mind it might be a free meeting or a cheap meeting. You tell them what they need to do and then you offer to do it for them. And 9 times out of 10, or at least 4 times out of 5, people will say, great, you've helped me out so far. You've told me what needs to happen. I've got confidence that that's going to get me success. Can you just do it for me? You're not going to get everybody, but you're going to get a lot of people. And if you're offering this to your clients, they're already clients. It's a great way to get new clients. You've helped them almost all the way across the river. You might do a bit of advisory work for them to get them on the final bit of the river. And then your goal is obviously to pick up all their other work. But you've got an inside running because you've helped solve a problem that's been painful. So you just help them out. You offer to help them out. They won't all do it, and that's okay. So let's have a quick example. Debt recovery. Let's say you decide that the biggest pain people are suffering is they've got outstanding creditors. So you say, okay, I'm going to select that one. Now we need to break it up into a series of chunks, and you might say, right, step number 1, I'm going to give them some letters to send to all their creditors. And from that, if they send those letters you give them out, some people will pay because of the letters. Then you'll say, all right, next thing I'm going to give you free, I'm going to give you a little video that shows you what to say when you phone up, and here's the phone script. Brilliant. You might help them pull in some more money.
Step 3, you might do some frequently asked questions about the letters and the phone scripts and getting in money, another little video on that. So once those have been done, those little 5-minute videos, they're done. They're like an asset you've got forever to help people along the process. Then, of course, you say, well, step 5 is you need to sort out some legal stuff, but before I can give you stuff around what to do with your individual clients that still haven't paid, let's have a face-to-face meeting and I'll have a look, review their situation, and I can give you a strategy on how to get onto that blue rock. Okay, but we need to meet first. Now, I don't know if this is the process for debt recovery. I've just made this up, but you get the point. Okay, step people 3. So whoever educates the market owns the market. Can you see that? Can you see if you're offering your clients a process like this that you're going to pick a lot of them up to do advisory work, and even if you are offering it to other people's clients, then you're going to pick up advisory work, and that's a great door in for doing compliance and other type of stuff. So we're not selling, we're just helping people out. And promoting how-to problem-solving information will get a 10 times higher response than traditional advertising. And we've tried it in a number of different industries, and it works like gold. So the question you might be saying is, okay, how can I get people into this little process? Well, there's a number of ways. The easiest way is just send a letter to your existing clients. If you think there's a good chunk of your clients who need advisory work around a specific topic, maybe it's debt reduction, working with the IRD or something like that, you can just talk to them. You can just ring them up and ask them. You could send them a letter saying, hey, we're doing a special thing. We produce some videos to help people because we're noticing it's a big problem with a lot of our clients at the moment. You get start them on the process and you work them through to a meeting and then offer them a diagnosis. So letters to clients, phoning them up. You can run ads. Of course, if it's video and things like that, it becomes viral. So you end up getting massive leverage. If your client, and you've sent it to a client, hasn't got a problem, but they might forward it on to their cousin who does. And then all of a sudden your cousin goes into your sales process and your cousin ends up ringing up for a face-to-face meeting. And that's fine by you. So very, very viral. You can do it when you're networking or just talking to people. You could give them a business card with a link to just go on here, just go to this website and put your name and details in, and you'll automatically be sent some videos showing you how to solve this problem. And the other good one is joint ventures. You get someone else who has a whole lot of clients who you'd like to get access to, and they can send out an email on your behalf with a link in it. I mean, that's just a couple of ways. Okay, that's just off the top of my head. There's a lot of ways, but you can get people in and move them through the process. So, I mean, even if all you did was pick up advisory work from your existing clients, you've got a large database, they're probably not doing enough work with you. This is a great way to get them requesting face-to-face meetings with you to talk about advisory work. So don't educate. Sorry. Don't sell, just educate. Now, just a quick example of an ad. Look, I might say we're Petrie accountants. We've been in business 25 years and we're specialists in tax. That's traditionally what people will say in their ads. It doesn't work very well. It doesn't make the phone ring. So a very quick ad, top accountant reveals how to get your unpaid debts paid within 30 days. And then you might put in a little web address that holds the video, and you're off to the races. Okay, so all you're offering to do is solve some problems. All you're offering to do is be a good guy or a good girl and help people out. Of course, we're going to get 10 times more people go to that than the other one. Maybe even more than that. So what we find is problem-solving information will outsell traditional advertising by 10 to 1. I mean, sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but you can see why. People aren't interested in your business, they're interested in solving their problems. So, a couple of key points. This is a big strategy, I know, but it leads to advisory work. It's very viral. If you've done it in video, it's very leveraged. Once you've built it, you use this asset forever. It could be working for years for you, constantly being sent out. And you can produce a number of them. You don't just, you might have 4 or 5 of these different little educational modules that people can go through. At the end, always requesting a meeting with you. It's unique. Chances are, even though this video will go into a few different accountants, chances are not many of them will end up doing it. So if you jump on the boat, you will be unique. You will be doing something others aren't doing. You'll be positioned as an expert, which is good, before the person meets you. So if they're a client, even if they're a client, they may not know how good you are. They just get their annual reports come out and meet with you occasionally, but they really don't know how good you are. This is a chance to show how much you know. And it's also a chance to position you with people who aren't clients before they meet you face to face. And it's just being cool. You are helping people out. And that's always a good thing. You're putting out good karma out to the universe. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so if this makes sense, and I hope it does, and you want help mapping the strategy out because you can see the huge leverage and the power that it can have and the trust it can build with your market, I'm happy to run a results in advance strategy session with you. Right? It's be one-on-one. It'll be a 90-minute workshop. Normally we charge $397, but we're going to do this for $97. Now, why $97? Because if we charge $97, that means Dick and I can go out to a really nice lunch after we've done this workshop with you. If we charge you nothing, we get no lunch. It'll probably be rice and crackers, but at least we get to buy ourselves a nice lunch. We're not going to get rich on this. We're not going to get fat on it. $97. Okay, so if you want to do that, there's a 3-step process that we'll follow in this little workshop. We'll show you a 3-step process to select the best topic to go through when you're analysing your customer bases. What is the little educational problem-solving results in advance series we're going to create? There's a 5-step process to break it into chunks. Now, I've given you pretty much a high overview, but I can't go into too much detail just on a quick video. We'll talk about the best format to put the video. Now, you notice we've used me talking face-to-face, but we're also using, this is a screenshot of my computer, and we'll talk about what would be best for your situation. How to position yourself for your face-to-face session. So how to graduate them from giving them the free stuff to getting them to ask to meet you. We'll cover that. And then how to pitch your offer. Once they're in that face-to-face, how to transition that into paid work. So we'll probably do it on the phone unless you're in Wellington. If you're in Wellington, we're happy to meet up face-to-face. But as you can imagine, for $97, we're not going to fly all around the country for that. We'll do it on the phone and that'll be fine. We'll take you through it. We'll get you started. We'll get you set up so that you know exactly what to do and how to do it, okay? So I've got 6 places available on this at the $97 rate. After the 6, we'll go back to the full rate, okay? But I just want to get some people started who are motivated and keen and ready to sort of move quickly. We can get some people underway pretty quickly on this. And it'll change. It won't be the only thing you'll use to get clients, but it'll be another stream of lead sources for you. And it's, if you know it's like the old story. If you know what you're doing, it's reasonably easy to set up. So here's what to do. Email Judah at speedmarketing.co.nz and she'll set up a meeting with me or Dick or both of us to do a workshop with you. Or you can call me direct, 0274 30 30 30. Okay, now just a quick review. Video 1, we covered how people lack putting time and effort into their referrals, and they put probably too much time on their marketing. But they really should be going back to their existing client base and doing stuff that generates referrals. So watch that if you haven't seen it. Video number 2, we talked about the remarkable client experience and the purple cow, and how if you're driving along the motorway and you saw a purple cow, you'd have to stop, look at it, and then talk to others, and it's very viral. Well, it's the same for your business. What are the things that you can set up in your business that is so cool that people have to talk about it to others? And there's lots of industries, well, there's very few doing it actually, but the ones who are doing it, like Disneyland and Pike Place Fish Market, become famous. So it's a case of being creative and stepping outside your comfort zone. Go and watch that one if you haven't seen it. Video number 3 was about the triangle of trust and building up trust before you get to a meeting with the use of video. Works really, really well. And video number 4, we talked about results in advance. So it's an extension of the triangle of trust, but we're looking to generate leads for advisory work by running people through a process to help solve a specific problem, driving them to a meeting and getting them on board. So those are the things. If you haven't seen all those, they're worth watching because they're all very specific and relevant for an accountant. So that's a bit of a wrap. If you've got any feedback or questions, we'd love to hear some feedback on what you thought of these videos. If you've got any other topics you'd like us to cover, that would be interesting to know. If you can email julia@speedmarketing.co.nz. Of course, they could be better. I mean, we're not trying to make it perfect, but if you've got any thoughts or comments or feedbacks on anything, questions about anything we've covered, email Julie and she'll make sure it gets through to me. If you want to be one of the 6 on the results and advanced strategy session, we'll do that 90-minute workshop probably on the phone unless you're in Wellington. Then we're happy to do a 90-minute session for $97 plus GST. And that's our lunch money. And quickest way is just give me a call direct, 0274 30 30 30. And if you can't get me, if I'm in a meeting or something, just leave a message and I'll come back to you soon. But let me know it's about the results and advanced strategy session.
Okay, well, what do you think about that? I don't think there's too many accountants doing any strategy, anything like that around New Zealand. And I also think as you go through it, it's an exercise in common sense, isn't it? Like, you can see by going through it, it would work. It would position you as an expert and certainly give out a lot of good vibes because you're demonstrating your skill and all those good things. I'm not going to go into it again, right? It works. Now, we have had some people inquiring, very generously asking, can we get involved and help out? We have given you some free stuff through the videos, a bit like I'm telling you to do. Now, if you would like to have a chat with us, myself and Dick, maybe there's a workshop that's required to give you the strategy of how you can implement this yourself. That is a possibility. I've got some details on that if you send us an email, or there's probably a phone number down below. You can get hold of us directly. We can have a chat about it. Either way, ask for that information, we'll send it out to you, and then we can take it from there if that's a possibility, okay? So get on to that now. My name's Richard Petrie. I'm with Dick Vandenova.
I know.
And we'll see you soon. There is one more video coming soon. Can't tell you what it is. I'm sorry, we've got to keep a little bit of suspense in our relationship, and I've got to work out what it is. No, I know what it is. But it's coming soon, the next couple of days, so we'll see you then. Anyway, cheers.